Buenos días, alumnos. Estamos aquí para iniciar una nueva semana. Por favor, como cada lunes, vamos a orar. Señor, muchas gracias por este nuevo día que comenzamos, por todas las bendiciones que derramas sobre nosotros, por todas tus bondades, porque en todo este tiempo no nos ha hecho falta nada, por cada hermoso amanecer que nos regalas, Padre. Te damos gracias porque estamos bien, te damos gracias porque no nos falta nada. Te damos gracias por tus infinitas bondades y amor, que cada día nos demuestras que estás con nosotros presente, que cada día nos das prueba de ello. Te damos gracias porque bendices nuestras actividades, porque bendices nuestro día, porque bendices a nuestros seres queridos, porque no nos has dejado solos. Te pedimos por aquellas personas que están sufriendo en este momento, por toda la situación que se está viviendo alrededor de nosotros. Te pedimos por las personas que no hacen oración. Te pedimos por las personas que están carentes de tu amor porque no saben cómo, cómo orar, porque no saben cómo comunicarse contigo, Padre. Te pedimos por esas personas que no entienden que sin ti no tienen nada y que contigo lo tienen todo. Gracias, Padre. Amén, amén, amén. Okay, welcome again. Today is Monday, 1st June 2020. We change month. We are going to take our notebook and take note, and this is the latest task, and we are going to talk about direct and indirect speech. What someone has said that is a speech can be reported in two ways, direct and indirect. Direct speech is a directly report, word for word, without any changes. It appears within double quotes. Let's see an example. The teacher said, I have been teaching English for the last 10 years. I give you an introduction about the task, and I give you an example, right? Okay. Direct and indirect speech. Let's go into see step by step with examples how to make sentences from one that is direct to another one that is indirect. Indirect speech is a form of third-person narration presented with some grammatical modifications and not word for word. Okay? Now it's different. It's a narration, talking in third person, presented in some grammatical modification, not word for word like direct speech. It doesn't appear within double quotes, so very different from the direct speech. The example is the same one, but different. Listen. The teacher said she had been teaching English for the last 10 years. The teacher said she had been teaching English for the last 10 years. Check the difference between these two sentences, and each sentence tell you one in direct speech and the other one in indirect speech. Examples or exercise. Direct speech. John said, I am cycling for over an hour. Indirect speech. John said he was cycled for over an hour. In the direct speech, you have John said, and then with the words that John said, I am cycling for over an hour. But in the indirect speech, John said he was cycling for over an hour. It's most common to see the sentence in indirect speech than in the indirect speech. Because in the direct speech, you can see the exactly word by word what is saying John. Present tense in indirect speech. Now let's going to see the tenses. The present tense can be used in indirect speech. Speech 2. Say that something is still true. Talk about a future event. Examples. He said, my name is Sam. Direct speech. He said, his name is Sam. Indirect speech. Word by word. My name is Sam. Narration. Without quotes. Because in the first sentence you have, he said, comma, apostrophes. My name is Sam. He said his name is Sam, period. What you gonna do in modal verbs? Okay, with modal verbs in direct speech, you are going to change sometimes for indirect speech, changing will for would, can for could, may for might, shall for should, must for had to. But could, would, should, might, and ought to an indirect speech does not change. Changing time. What does it mean this? You have an expression of time in direct speech. Must be changed to fit in with the time of reporting. Expressions of time is reported on a different way. Example, this evening, that evening. These days, those days. Now for then. A week ago, a week before. Here for there. Some examples are like check. Direct speech. Today's breakfast is mouth-watering. She said. Word by word. Time expression. Indirect speech. She said yesterday breakfast was mouth-watering. Checking word by word, checking the rules, checking the expressions of times, okay? This is very important when you are talking in direct and indirect speech. This is going to be very useful for your project you are going to do. So pay attention to this last task because it's going to be very useful for your next work. Reporting verbs in indirect speech. The common reporting verbs in indirect speech are say, told, and asked. Says, said, sorry, is used without an object. Example, he said he will fail in the test. Told is used with an object. Example, Bob told Harry he felt tired. Ask is used to report question. Or questions. Example, I asked Andrew what he ate for lunch. Using that in indirect speech. That may or may not be used in indirect speech. You can use it or you will not. Don't worry about it, okay? Example with that. Her mother that she had baked a cake. Or her mother said had baked a cake. Without that, okay? Notes. Speech can be reported in two ways, direct and indirect speech. In direct speech, there is no change in the verb tenses. However, in indirect speech, the verb tenses usually change. Modal verbs in direct speech sometimes change when used in indirect speech. The present can be used in indirect speech too. Say that something is still true. Talk about future event. An expression of time, direct speech must be changed to fit with the time or reporting. The common report verbs in indirect speech are say, told, and ask. Underline these verbs, please. I hope that you take note because it's going to be very useful for you. Don't forget, please, to ask me. Any question you have is important for me, okay? Take care so much. Have a nice day. And I see you now for the project in the conference. We are going to do it in Zoom. I see you in video. I see you in a calling where we are going to talk about the project. Take care. Bye bye.